Hello everyone. So this is a new video that we're going to do, and today the video is going to be a bit different. It's a collaborative one. We have a guest today with us named Akshat Patil. He's also known as Crick Critic. He has his own channel similar to mine, and he also posts videos related to cricket and all of that. And so he is going to be our guest today. And the topic that we're going to talk about is the IPL retention that's just been announced. You can in your free time, check out Akshat's YouTube channel. He does post on his Instagram ID as well. But it would be good if you go and check out his YouTube. He just crossed 100 subscribers, so congratulations to Akshat on that. And yeah, so we'll start with the topic that we have on our hands today, that is the IPL retention. Since the past couple of weeks, there was a lot of buzz, especially with the IPL trade. Trading, has been going on for the last couple of years, but I think this year has been the most buzz there's been in terms of IPL trade. And we'll go team by team, which player has been released and which player has been actually, retained and all of that. We'll start with the defending champions for the next season, that is the Royal Challengers Bangalore. And actually, your thoughts on the retention or the players that they've released? They did not have much players to release because obviously they were the champions. So, but whatever player they released, your thoughts if you could share.
They have let go Blessing, Musarbani, they have let go Lungi and Gidi, they have let go Livingston. So
Yeah.
I think that was just to make the purse for some time, and they obviously have that typical champions behavior now because from
Mm,
opening to bowling, everything is there with them,
yeah.
so they don't need to change anything, and they have done what they have done.
I think they've released Mayank Agarwal and Swastik Chikara as well. A couple of those domestic players. So yeah. But apart from that, I think Livingston was kind of a given because obviously of his price plus the performance just not being there. But other than that, I think the team looks pretty good. Do you think they need to do much in the auction? Obviously, it's a mini auction. Some of this, slots are already filled, but if there's one area that you feel, where they should be looking at.
I think they should look for a good backup for Tim David because Livingston
Mm.
was doing that thing. So first, I think they should do that. And second is I feel bowlers because they have let go NKD, they have let go Blessing. So I feel
Yeah,
just replace them with some quality pacers because MI has also let go Reece Topley, and other teams have also let go some pacers. So can target them and get some good amount of pacers in their side.
yeah. I think all in all, the squad looks still pretty good. Obviously, reasons being that
They're good to go. Yeah.
they want to continue with the core. That does look like it. Um, So we move on to the next team. That is the final other finalists. That is the Punjab Kings. Even they haven't had that many. It was good to see actually that they retain a lot of the players. There's a lot of talk that Yuzi Chahal could, also be released because of his price tag, but he's also being retained. Any thoughts? I think Maxwell is one released, and then there's I think Josh English has also been released. So overall on the Punjab Kings, if you could just point out.
It's very surprising, first of all, that Punjab has retained so many players, and Ponting actually surprisingly has let go some Australians. Maxwell is first.
Yeah.
I understand that because in fact that is one thing. And Aaron Hardy and Josh Inglis. Josh Inglis was surprising because
Yes,
the
yes.
way he played
Really,
against
I mean,
Bumrah and he
Josh
qualified to.
Josh English was a bit
Uh,
surprising because he did well, and I mean he's been in pretty good form, has been going through injury, so that's the only I guess player because I was expecting they might retain Maxwell as well because they bought him for only 4.2 crores, so not much of purse, but because he can be impactful as well. We've seen with his off spin and being in the field, but obviously they've released him. But apart from that, I think Aaron Hardy did not get a game, so it really makes sense that they look out for someone else. Kuldeep Sen is one of the bowlers that they've released as well. And but apart from that, I really liked how they've retained their core. Even Lockie Ferguson's there, and all the domestic Indian batters. We have Nehal Vadera, Shashank Singh, and Prabh Simran Singh, who all start. Not to forget to mention Priyansh Arya as well. So it's the first time I think they have the second least purse, if I'm not wrong, heading into an auction. So pretty good from their part. But apart from that, any player or any slot, any position you feel they would like to rectify or look to slot someone in?
First of all, last season they had this dilemma of who shall play in their overseas slots. So I
Yeah,
think they should really think about replacing their released overseas names. Like they've let go Hardy, they've let go Inglis, or I forgot the other name now.
Maxwell. Maxwell's
So
the other
they
guy.
should think of replacing all of these. Yeah, Maxwell. Sorry, Maxwell. Obviously, in the age factor, he's there. So maybe they can get Liam Livingston back. Second, I feel Inglis can be replaced by Bairstow. He was a former player of Punjab as well. And for Hardy, I feel any all rounder, someone like Nathan Smith, maybe from New Zealand, or any other all rounder who can do the backup work for them, or maybe even get Hardy back. That is also something they can do because there's Ricky Ponting after all. He's an Australian, and all three names that have been released are also Australian. So anyone can come back. But I
Yeah.
feel Livingston and Bairstow are appropriate replacements for these guys.
But I think apart from them as well, they have some good all-rounders. I think Azmatullah Omarzai is there. You have a Marco Jansen. So I think, I mean, they can buy some other player, but I think the core that they've tried to retain, I think that will already be there. So not much change. So it's good to see another team, retaining its core. Obviously, they want to build on that team. So the next team will be the Gujarat Titans, who also had a pretty good season last time. They went till the eliminator stage, lost out to Mumbai Indians there. But even they don't have that much, releases as such. They traded Sharfin Rutherford to MI. But your thoughts on the players that they've released?
Again, even they have let go very few players because
Yeah.
again they were also in the playoffs, and the names that they have let go are not that surprising. They were just the backups who were in the side. Karim Janat, Dasun Shanaka, obviously Rutherford being traded to MI was not a good sign, I would say, because they needed a finisher. They had him last season. He played well, and now that he's with the Mumbai Indians, they definitely have some dilemma that who should replace him in this side. So that is one thing, and others, I feel it's fine letting go Jannat Shanaka. They can, easily replace him with all those names with any player. That is fine. And they're playing 11 is also settled. I feel they just need to replace Rutherford in that. And that's it. Even they have the same strategy as last season, I feel.
I think they've released Gerard Coetzee and Mahipal Lamroor as well. I think Coetzee also did not get that many games, and Mahipal Lamroor as well could not. But the other guys, I think they've retained. Obviously, the head coach is Ashish Nehra, who also has, he also likes to be, retaining the core of players. So that could have also played its part. But I think overall, even their team looks pretty good. There's Glenn Phillips still there, in the team, like you mentioned, the finishing role, but I still think there's a role where he could play up the order in T20s. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. But other than that, any slot do you think? Because the bowling still looks pretty good. They still have Rabada there. They have Prasidh Krishna. Pace bowling is still pretty good. You have Rashid Khan as well in the spin department. I think they have Nishan Sandhu as well and Manav Sudhar, if I'm not wrong. If in the spin department, so other particularly any
There's
spot.
Siraj as well.
Yeah, Mohammad Siraj. I forgot Siraj's name with the new ball. So any slot, like you said, finishing, but there were talks that GTA were too much dependent on the top order. So your thoughts about on it?
I think as you said, Glenn Phillips is still there in that squad. So last time he
Yeah.
was ruled out due to an injury. So I
Hmm.
feel he'll do that work this time around for GT because he can do that part-time thing as well for them.
Yeah,
So he'll be a definitely handy option.
and he's a handy fielder for you. So mm,
Yeah, and MI have also released B1 Jacobs, so maybe they might target someone like Jacobs. He's a
Jacob as
youngster
well. Yeah.
now, and I think he got the cap as well, if I'm not wrong. So very handy option out there.
Yeah, apart from that, they also look pretty good. Another team that has retained most of its core players. We move on to the next team, that is the Mumbai Indians. They also had a pretty good season. They went till the qualifier two stage, and heading into this auction, they are the team with the least amount of purse, with only about 2 crore or something. Your thoughts? Obviously, you posted a video as well on the players who could be, released or retained. So I think they've retained a lot of the major chunk of core, which I really like. There were reports that Deepak Chahar or Will Jacks could be released, But I like how they've retained Jax and both Chahar, because I think Jax does offer a lot to the team. So overall, your thoughts on the Mumbai Indians' decisions on the releases?
I'm happy. As a fan, I'm happy. I mean, I wanted that the team should stick to those players.
Yeah,
Chahar, not agreeing to it because if you've got Thakur, then why you need Chahar? I don't know. He's definitely great in the power play. I understand that, but again, the economy last time around was about 9. So still thinking about it, that you could have freed up 10 crores, and you could have tried bringing in
yeah,
someone new, just like you bought Ashwini Kumar. You could have bought in someone new and could have done that work. But again, it's fine. I feel the lineup is settled. You have enough backups. Even if Deepak Chahar does not play, you can play with Ashwini Kumar. If Shardul Thakur does
yeah.
not play, you can play with
I
Ashwini
think
Kumar.
Ashwini was
It's
really
pretty much fine.
impressive last season. I think he replaced Deepak Chahar as well in that lineup. I remember one game against Gujarat in Wankhede where he bowled really well. And I think they have retained a lot of the other Indian domestic players as well. Raj Bawa, who could not get a lot of opportunities, who I feel can be a really good player. He's an all-rounder. And, I guess the other player from Andhra, whom I'm forgetting his name, he did get one game, so they've retained these players as well, which is really good to see.
Raju, VS Raju.
Yes, yes, VS Raju, and as I said, Ashwini Kumar is there as well. So,
Yeah.
do you think they were not quite, they retained Chahar because they weren't that sure about Shardul? I mean, Shardul, we all know he has a knack of picking up wickets and he can bat a bit. So, do you think that could have played a part on them, or they would have loved to give Chahar a bit more time into the team?
I think the only concern about Shardul is again economy because Wankhede. I know he's a Mumbaiker. He's been playing at Wankhede, but we all have seen that how much runs are leaked, especially during
Yeah.
the death overs. And Deepak Chahar is someone who bowls at least 3 overs in the power play, and he
Hmm.
just bowls one in the death. But when it comes to Shardul, you won't give him 2 or 3 in the power play itself. You might keep him for the death overs. And again, at the death overs, so you already have Bolt, you have Bumrah, but still you cannot risk that and give all those overs to them. You'll have to use Shardul somewhere, right? So that's maybe one concern for Mumbai Indians. So hence they probably bought him in and kept Chahar as well. So the variety stays and maybe they will have an idea that who should continue for the entire season.
Yeah. Um, I think I like how they have a lot of options. Obviously, the top order is pretty stacked up with that batting. Rohit, Surya Kumar, Jax, and Tilak Verma in the middle order. So they have Hardik as well as a finisher. So I think the team looks pretty good. They now
And
have
now
Ravi.
Rutherford as well is.
Yes, maybe he's a finisher, but we'll see that out. As I said, the team, it looks pretty settled, and players can be flexible as well. That's what I guess the MI coach, Mahela Jayawardene, had said even last season. So pretty interesting squad, has the least amount of money, but I think it looks pretty good heading into that 2026 season. But still, any particular area, obviously, it's the least amount of purse, but still, if they can look to uh, keep gap a hole somewhere in the auction.
I think spin department because see they let go Vignesh Puthur, which is a big surprise for me. I was
Okay.
a personally big fan of his from last season,
Yeah.
and they've let him go. They've let Karan Sharma go. I understand Karan Sharma because he's in the age factor thing, so that's completely fine. I agree to it. And you got Mayank Markande to replace him, so even that is fine. But letting go Vignesh Puthur was something I did not like. I hope they buy back him because I think there was some extra bidding, so hence they probably let him go. But I think he should be back in this side. And other than that, they kept Raghu Sharma as well, who replaced Vignesh Puthur last season due to an
Yeah.
injury. And even Raghu Sharma is like 32, 33. So you're not going to play with him for sure. Mitchell Santner is likely to play as the lead spinner.
Yeah.
And you might play with Markande in that side. But again, Puthur, that left arm Chinaman thing just hits different. So I really
I
want him
think
back into the side.
I think Santner
And
in that lower
especially when you have these yeah.
I think Santner in the lower order could be really helpful because we all know as his batting potential. But in the recent past, I've seen his batting, and the way he's timed the ball recently, it really encourages. And it's good to see him, play that way. He's timing the ball really well. I think it's the best I've seen him bat, Mitchell Santner, throughout his career. So that's a big positive. I think obviously with the ball, we know with the field as well, and just overall as a player. But I think his batting could really be something. But yeah, I think spin department they do have Gazanfar who could not play last season because of an injury, so uh, he could be there. But again, it will be based on which four overseas players.
Overseas slot.
Yeah, because they have Rutherford, so that could be. But as I said, they have a lot of options. That's a good thing about them. They can look to do that. So yeah, I think that's the Mumbai Indians for now. And we move on to the fifth team, that is the Kolkata Knight Riders. They've had a lot of players, not some, but huge chunk of players being released. Thoughts on Kolkata Knight Riders? I think they had into this auction with the largest purse, with 64 crores, around 64 crores. So thoughts on them? A huge thing that they actually released Andre Russell as well, because we've seen they trusting Russell for a lot of years. Even last year there was talks that Russell could be released heading into the mega auction, but this year it's come true that he is indeed released. So thoughts on that?
It was a good decision, I would say, because you have to move on from someone like Russell. And
Hmm.
even I know as a fan of KKR, maybe for someone it would be really difficult to see. But again, you'll have to move on from Russell. You'll have to move on from Nareen. They're not going to be there forever, right? So you'll have
Forever.
to
Yeah.
move on. And again, that amount that Russell was holding, again, I feel in that you can get at least two young all rounders, or maybe you can look for someone like Cameron Green, who's been in the talks.
Yeah.
So a very wise decision, I would say. I'm not surprised with this decision. I would rather appreciate this decision that they have taken, that, this time they're thinking about the team rather than emotions.
Yeah.
Even if they want to buy back him back, it's fine. It's completely fine. Not a bad decision. But yeah, it's a very wise and strong decision, I would say. And other than that, just keeping Ajinkya Rahane as well is also a good decision that they have done. Trusting him. I don't know if he'll be the captain or not, but he should be the captain because I don't think he did anything wrong last season.
Yeah. I
And
think he had a
other than
decent
that,
season.
yeah, and they need a wicket keeper. That's one big concern for them.
Yeah.
Johnny Bairstow appears to be the best option available for
Yeah.
you. Josh Inglis also is one option. These two names are coming to my mind when I think of KKR right now. And rest Venkatesh Iyer, again, that was very obvious. We all knew it.
I
It's going
think.
to happen, and it happened. And maybe they'll buy back him, or maybe RCB was also looking for him. So let's see. I don't think maybe they'll have that much, plus RCB won't be able to do that. So maybe he might go back to KKR only. And KKR needs some pacers, I feel, because I think Harshit Rana is there, Vaibhav Arora is there. All of that is fine. But again, you let go Spencer Johnson. So again, you need bowlers as well. Moeen Ali has been let go, so you need an
Yeah.
all-rounder as well. So they'll be doing a lot of work. I feel it's this entire auction is meant for them. It seems.
Yeah, I think they'll be the team to watch out for. I mean, with that much money heading into a mini auction, it will be good. I think you rightly pointed out Cameron Green's name. I think they will be one of the teams because they do need an all-rounder if they don't think of getting Russell back. And I think Green's shaping up pretty well as well. He's just started to bowl in the Sheffield Shield as well, so they'll be keeping a watch out on that as well. Apart from that, any slots you feel? I mean, you just pointed out the finishing and the fast bowlers, but overall on their retention and the players that they've released, how do you think about it?
They have a huge amount of purse. That is one thing.
Yeah,
And when you have a huge amount of purse, it is not meant to be spent on one player. You don't want to splash all that just like you splashed on Venkatesh Iyer last season. This time around, they have to be wiser than before because they need to fill in everything from opening to the middle order to spin and to the pace
yeah,
because you have let go like one big name in each department. You had two keepers, you don't have them anymore now. You had Moeen Ali, you have let Moeen Ali go. You had Russell, you have let him go. You had Norgay, you had Spencer Johnson, you have let them go. So they'll have to bring in some really big names to bring another campaign like that 2024 campaign. So they'll
mhm.
have to shop really carefully and
I
not
think
just splash money out.
Quinton de Kock is another big player. Obviously, did not have that great a season, but he's another player who's being released by them. So yeah. We move on now to the other team, and it's the Lucknow Super Giants, and they also have quite a bit of releases. They've released David Miller, they've released Ravi Bishnoi as well, who was retained last season for 11 crores. So, and a lot of other players, a lot of domestic players, they traded out Shardul Thakur and got Arjun Tendulkar. They've released Shama Joseph, and I think two. domestic player as well. I think Yuvraj Chaudhary and Rajvardhan Hangadekar. So thoughts on Lucknow's releases?
Miller again was not a shock because he's into that
Yeah,
age thing. So really not shocked by that decision. But again, if they don't buy someone equally good, then it would be backfiring them anytime soon. And they have gotten Mohammad Shami through trades, so that is a
yeah,
very huge move for them because you let go Shardul, you let go other pacers as well. You know they are into injury concerns. So getting in Shami, especially when you have all Mayank Yadav and Akash Deep as well. So that's a very good decision. And I think Hangargekar deserved better, especially after that World Cup campaign. CSK did not keep him for long. Even LSG now did not keep him for long. So
yeah,
I'll hope that some team at least gets him as a backup, and he gets some or the other chance for any of the teams, and does well, because that is what is happening with those under 19 players after the Prithvi Shaw and Shubman Gill side. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal, Dhruv Jurel, and Tilak Verma. These are the only names I remember who came ahead after that side. After the
campaign. Yeah,
2018 side, the 2020 side had those names who came ahead. After that, there were so many players who did well for that India under 19 side, but they did not get those opportunities in any of the IPL sides, and they couldn't move ahead. Raj Angat Bawa is definitely one of those examples.
yeah.
Hangargekar is one of those examples. Yes, Dhul, he was the winning captain, but again, he's nowhere. So all of this is something that just hurts. But let's hope that they get some good teams.
I think Yuvraj Chaudhary as well. I've heard he's a pretty good domestic player. Hits huge sixes. So I mean, they could have retained him looking at the future, but obviously he is not retained. He's released for now. Uh, any slots you feel that the team should look at probably, because I think the batting is really filled with overseas batters. They have Marsh and Markram, who both did pretty well. And I was expecting Miller to be released, but I thought with him being around, I think for 7.5 crores, I thought they would retain him because without the age thing as well, I think Miller at the final overs can be pretty destructive. But other than that, I think in general, any slots areas where you feel they should look to uh, buy any players or not.
Middle order was definitely that place, I would say, because
Yeah,
now that you have let go Miller, it feels like a huge gap now. You do have Rishabh Pant, but I think he bats at 4 or 5 nowadays.
four.
So that is, yeah, 4. So that is not good for you, because then Badoni goes really down the order, and he has finished a couple of matches, but not that much. So you definitely need a good finisher in terms of Indian players. Again, that is something really difficult nowadays, to find an Indian finisher for you. So you'll have to look for that. And again, spin, I would say, because I'm not going to be dependent on Digvesh Rathi if I'm the Lucknow management, or if I'm a Lucknow fan. I don't want to be dependent on Digvesh Rathi. And you'll have to get, maybe, last time I think M. Siddharth was also playing as a spinner.
Yeah.
Shahbaz Ahmad is in that side, but they are not being given those chances. And maybe I still feel they should buy back Ravi Bishnoi. I don't know what's wrong with Ravi Bishnoi that they had to let him go, but still they can get him back.
Yeah, at a lesser price is what maybe. But I think they're a team with a lot of fast bowling. Obviously, their coach is Bharat Arun, but uh, I think the batting, I think I still feel the middle order looks pretty decent. I mean, they have Puran and Pant. Uh, because there were talks that Pant should bat at three, but I mean, I don't know if they want to continue with Markram Marsh, then they have to either bat him at three, then Puran four. But yeah, those are the areas that Lucknow Super Giants can look at. And the next team we look at is Delhi Capitals, who had a pretty good start last season, but midway saw the tournament faded away and then could not qualify. But they also have had not much of releases. Obviously, some guys were pretty much straightforward. I think Jake Fraser McGurk is one of those because he was bought for 9 crores, did not have that great a season. And they've released Darshan Nalkande and Faf du Plessis as well. I think he was a bit surprising, but he is released as well. Then they've released Mohit Sharma and Sadiqullah Atal as well. So thoughts on DC's releases?
I I was disappointed last season that they did not qualify for the playoffs. Though I'm an MI
Yeah,
fan, but the way Delhi performs every season, it feels that just please go to the playoffs somehow and do something good for your side. But it did not happen, and a little happy, I would say, with these decisions of letting go Faf and Jake Fraser Mac, because even last season itself, when they got Faf, I was like, why? Why would you invest in someone so old? And again, this decision is again not surprising. You had to do it anytime soon, and invest in someone younger. They could have kept Atal because he's
Yeah,
doing good for Afghanistan and is a very promising player. So he could have been there, but fine. Let's see if they can buy back him. And also there were reports that Stark or Natarajan might come out, but again, even they are retained. So probably good decision from the Delhi management. Rest, I feel they've let go Donovan Ferreira to Rajasthan,
yeah,
and Nitish Rana has uh, come
has
to
been
Delhi
bought back.
Capitals. So Nitish Rana is definitely a good addition. Yeah, it's definitely a good addition because you need someone in the middle order. And Porel and Rahul, they might open, and Nitish Rana at three. That is absolutely ideal.
He's a
So
local guy as well.
pretty good for
He's
me.
from Delhi, so he knows, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously when you get a local lad to play at Kotla, it would be absolute damage.
Uh, but any slots, because I think the fast bowling also looks pretty good. They've retained Stark, they've retained Mukesh Kumar as well. And I think Ashutosh Sharma is also one of the players who's performed well for them. And they've retained T Natarajan as well. There were talks that he was bought for 10.7, so they might release him for some money, but it's good that they're backing him. So overall, any, area where they still lack a bit, they should look at.
I don't think there's any slot where Delhi lacks some
Hmm.
players. They The problem with Delhi side, I don't know, is what is it? I mean, is it luck or is it form? Because they have the best of lineups in many seasons. Since
Yeah.
they changed to Capitals, I think their fortune changed a bit. They really did well in some of the seasons, and that actually made me a fan. There is obviously a visible difference between Daredevils and the Capitals side. You will see those changes. Though they are letting go those big names in one or the other season, but the difference is really visible. So I don't know what really goes wrong with them every season. They do so well in those first few matches, and then they just drop down to sixth or seventh position in the table, and they're out of the playoff race. So for me, the side is pretty good. I don't think you'd have to do anything other than just getting those backups for your uh, playing 11, and then that's it. I hope they do good this time around. I think they'll have to find an opener maybe because Rahul and Porel, if they're likely to open, or if you want someone to play as the opener alongside KL Rahul. So look for a foreigner opener. You have let go two of them. You have let go Fraser McGurk. You have let go
Yeah.
Duplessis. So get one foreign opener.
Yeah, I think they just missed out. They were fifth last season, so they would hope that some luck is on their side. So yeah, that's Delhi Capitals for now. We move on to the Sunrisers Hyderabad, who were the finalists of 2024 and had a pretty good core heading into 2025, but did not have that great a season. And they have released a couple of players, but they have tried. I think what I see from their squad is they've retained some players who they feel are potential did pretty well in the last season. And also, so they don't have that many releases as well. They've released Atharva Taide, they've released their two leg spinners, Adam Zampa and Rahul Chahar. And other than that, I think Abhinav Manor is released and Sachin Baby. And they did trade Shami to LSG. So apart from that, the team looks pretty settled. So thoughts on the Sunrisers and their releases?
They have again, they have this stable 11 like last time around, and
Yeah,
not stable, I would say, but a really good 11. Head Abhishek Cummins, all of them, Ishan Kishan, all of them, the same lineup is like too much. So
yeah,
you just need your backups and nothing else. They are a very good side. I don't know how they missed out on playoffs last season as well,
yeah,
because if you have one such team like this, you are supposed to make it to finals at least twice or thrice until the next mega auction. But they did not even reach the playoffs, so pretty surprised with that. This time around, I feel they will play with Ansari, who was playing last season. So as they have let go Rahul Chair, so they'll likely be continuing with Ansari. Abhinav Manohar, if he's not there, then I think Aniket Verma was there, so he'll be playing there. Shami has been released, so that is one point of concern. I would say you'll have to look for a replacement, or maybe maybe they might go with Unadkat, but I mean, experience is there, but definitely I haven't seen that performance. So that is one problem. And rest, I think everything is good with them. They have Klassen, they have Ishan Kishan, wicket keepers are there, your openers are there, head Abhishek. Just need those backups to be filled in.
Yeah, I think the batting is the real firepower. But they have some good players in the bowling. I think they have Harsh Dupe, who they will look to play a lot. Obviously, he was a replacement last season, but I do see him getting a lot more games in the following season. So, pretty good team heading into it. Do you think Pat Cummins' availability could be an issue, or he will play?
He will play. He will play because last season I know it wasn't that good, but he still
Yeah.
knows that he has that great side that he had like almost 2 seasons ago in 2024 as well. So definitely he will play. I don't think it's changing for them.
Yeah, I think him and Vittori are pretty good. I think their bond works pretty well as well. So hoping that they have a pretty good season, similar to 2024. But yeah, moving on to the next team, a team that has been in a bit of talks in the last couple of weeks. That is the Rajasthan Royals, and they have traded some players in, and the players that they've released let go of. One of them is the captain, Sanju Samson, and they've traded Nitish Rana as well to the Delhi Capitals. Then they've let go of Akash Madhwal, Fazalak Farooqi, and Kumar Karthikeya as well. Banindu Hasaranga and Mahesh Dikshana, the two Sri Lankan spinners, also are the players that they released. So overall thoughts on the Royals and their team for the season, for heading into the auction.
Royals, starting with Samson himself, a very rare side that a team has let go their captain to another team.
Yeah,
And talking about the arrivals, with the arrivals, I'm fine because Jadeja, Karan, and Donovan Ferreira. Donovan Ferreira is the only interesting name that I find out there because Sam Curran, he hasn't been like that Sam Curran who played for the Kings 11 Punjab back then, or
yeah,
maybe the CSK campaign that he had before. So I don't think he's the same anymore. And again, Ravindra Jadeja also has that age factor on him. He's definitely great, no doubt. But how long are you going to keep him with you is one question. That you let go someone who was your captain, who could have given you a lot more years of captaincy as well and keeping as well. So that is definitely an issue for me. I feel Ferreira is the only good arrival for them. Nitish Rana again. He has been let go. That's something okay because he had an injury last time around, and then letting him go to his home team again, that's fine. You have openers, you have Suryavanshi, you have Jaiswal, you have a keeper, Jurel. So you have sorted out things at least for the names who have been let go. But
yeah,
yeah, honestly, as I said, I'm not that satisfied with the arrivals. So they'll have to work out a lot in the auctions. You have let go two Sri Lankan spinners, that's fine. But you'll have to make sure that you find someone. Maybe if you don't want either of them, then buy an a finisher maybe. Or if Ferreira is someone who can play in your lineup, then it would be good because last time around we all were disappointed to see that how Jurel and Hetmar were handling things. There was a lot of criticism and backfiring as well that why Jurel and Hetmar are still being given chances despite that failure. So they'll have to really work out on this finishing roles and they have let go Fazalak Farooqi. Archer is still there. That's a great thing for them.
yeah.
But again, Archer, we all know injury is one thing. So again, you're trapped out there as well. You need good pacers, especially after Bolt left. So they are in that dilemma.
Yeah, I think with the trade-ins were quite interesting, Ravindra Jadeja and Sam Curran. I think Sam Curran, I think they wanted Brevis, but maybe it was Curran at the end. And I think Sam Curran's more for his bowling. We know he can bat a bit, but I think he had a pretty good season of the 100. Obviously, it's a long way back in different conditions, but maybe, his slower balls is something that I mean, Jaipur's boundaries are big, so we'll only find that out in the next month of April 2026. But yeah, I think they look pretty good. I think Jadeja's inclusion is huge. But another talking point, I think, is who will be the captain. There are a lot of candidates, they have Yashasvi Jaiswal, Dhruv Jurel, who done well for them. But who do you see getting the captaincy role? Riyan Parag captain last season, but who will be the full-time one in this season?
I feel they'll go with Riyan Parag only. My heart wants Jaiswal as the captain, but my mind
Yeah.
says that it's Parag obviously will be elected as the captain.
Yeah, I think they might continue with him because he was a vice captain as well. But an interesting squad, a young squad, and I think a team that should be looked out in the 2026. Obviously, they do have a lot of players and they can be a team to watch out for surely. with the players that they've brought heading into the auction as well. We move on to is the Chennai Super Kings. This is the last team as well, and they also have been in a lot of talk of trade news in the last couple of weeks. And they have released some of the players as well. They've released Devon Conway, which was a given. He did not have that great a season last season. And Rachin Ravitra as well. I was not surprised, but I just had a feeling that they might retain him, looking forward to the future since he's a young now. So, but apart from that, Rahul Tripathi, Deepak Huda, and Vijay Shankar, these guys who did not do that well, they've also been released. The biggest release that they announced was of Matisha Pathirana, whom they retained last season for 13 crores. So, thoughts on that and overall on the releases of the Chennai Super Kings?
I think Ravindra and Conway is fine because they have paid too many options for opening. Now they have Samson,
Yeah.
they have Mhatre, they have Pad. So they have plenty options out there. So it's fine that they have let go two of the overseas openers. And they have let go Pathiana as well. They can still buy him back for a lesser price in the auction. Let's not forget that.
Hmm.
And he will definitely attract bidding war. But there are only few teams with some high purse. And again, depends at what point he's coming in. uh, so that is one thing. And second thing is, I would say they'll have to replace Jadeja and this Sam Curran is fine. I mean, if not replaced, that's still fine. But they'll have to look for someone who does that thing which Jadeja did. I mean, you will find a bowler, someone like Jadeja, but you won't find a finisher like Jadeja. That is also another thing. So really looking forward to see whom they are getting in to do that work for them.
I think they still have Nathan Ellis, who I felt he should have gotten a lot more games last season, but they already obviously had Pathirana along as well. But I think Sam Curran not being there, there could be that Jamie Overton gets more games, but there's an auction still pending, so it all depends on the team at the end that they will have. But apart from that, any area that obviously you said finishing and spinner as well, since Jadeja is not being retained. And thoughts on Sanju Samson being traded. I think Ruturaj will still be the captain, but how does he settle into this team? Because I feel he will continue playing the role of number three that he was at the Royals, so which is natural to him. But uh, you know how could he be slotted in the team? They obviously needed a keeper as well. uh, so and it's a wise call. I think a lot of we associate Chennai with a team that they back their players even though who played well for them. Jadeja being traded was obviously huge, but apart from that, thoughts on basically how Samson will go into the team.
I feel the opposite here. I feel Samson might open and Gaikwad will like open alongside Mhatre.
Yeah.
And another thing is, as you said, Ravindra Jadeja has been let go. So yeah, as I said before, I'm looking forward to see whom they are going to groom for that role. And if I talk about Ellis and Pathirana, then definitely they were saying that Ellis should have got more gameplay last time around as well, but they did not. And they kept on playing with Pathirana, due to that sling action, which is definitely it's effective, no doubt. But last time around, it did not look like. So I'm also looking to see that if not Ellis either, and if not even Pathirana, then who? Because if they don't get Pathirana and if Ellis doesn't perform, then who is your go-to overseas pacer? What are you going to do in that situation? That is something that I'm looking forward to see.
I think if they get those wickets that they get in Chennai, slow, a bit sluggish, then Ellis is a perfect bowler. Because he is going through a good form and he has his slower deliveries as well that he bowls. So I think he should be effective, but
They definitely have Khalil and
yeah, Khalil,
Mukesh Chaudhary as well.
Mukesh
So
Chaudhary as well.
Mukesh
Yeah,
Chaudhary is really impressive. They they have both of them. So even that is fine for them, I feel. Just those two names and then a few spinners. Noor Ahmed is there in that side.
yeah.
Shreyas Gopal is there in the side spinner. So I think spin department is set and the pace is also fine. If Ellis plays and then they play with Khalil or Mukesh, anyone.
I
I
think
think the bowling is sorted for him.
Anshul Kamboj could be a good new ball bowler. I mean, if they look out for him, as one of the new ball options, he is another option bowler to go ahead as well. But yeah, I think they've, I think trade that they got Samson. I think that is the biggest news, for them. And I think the batting looks pretty good. They have Dubey, they have Brevis as well, and they have Urvil Patel as well, who at the top of the order, if they do want. Um, I think it'll be
They have Brevis.
interesting. They will be an interesting team too. I think they have the second or the third most purse, so they will also be pretty much busy in the auctions. And yeah, they made
I
some.
have a question for you now. I have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
question for you now.
yeah.
Last 2 seasons ago, we saw Hardik coming to Mumbai. Samsung is SK. So, according to you, which trade was the best and why?
Uh, I think both the trades were pretty good. But I feel this was the best, because I think both the teams got what they wanted. Because I think Samson did not want to be, stay with the Royals. He had said Royals that he wants to either, being traded or being released from the team altogether. So Royals were looking out for teams. They reached out to the Super Kings, and initially they did not want. I think Royals wanted Jadeja firstly, because obviously they are giving one of their big players, so they would want one of their big players as well, which Chennai did not agree to at first. But then it did work on pretty well, and they did get Sam Curran as the additional player. So I feel Royals have got a pretty good deal. So have Chennai. I mean, Samson, yes. I think the wicketkeeper, batter keeper, player that they have got for the future. Dhoni is going to play reportedly in the next season as well, but it's the future. Samson is still 31, still has what 5, 6 years of cricket left in him. So he could really be the player that, plays well and, takes the team forward along with Ruturaj Gaikwad and the other guys. So I think in that trade as well, the Hardik Pandya trade, him wanting to go back to Mumbai and, Cameron Green being traded to RCB. I think even that was pretty good, but I just feel here, since there were two teams involved and, both the teams at this moment, they've got what they wanted. But in that trade, I think Gujarat suffered a bit, and we did see in the 2024 season as well. Uh, they only had to let go of one guy, which was Hardik, but it did affect their team. In the finishing captaincy, they had a good new captain, and they tried to fill in the finishing thing with Shah Rukh Khan and a couple of other players as well. But just in terms of impact, I feel this trade is the best. And,
Definitely,
and
I
I'm
think this
personally looking to
option
see how
will be
Jadeja goes about in the Royals, because he was in the Rajasthan Royals, won with them in the first year. So it is really exciting
yeah,
how,
homecoming.
yeah, it is really exciting how he goes at the Rajasthan Royals. A final question to you as well.
I think this option. Mhm.
Yeah, which
Yeah, final
team
question.
now? We've had talks of all the teams. Which team did you think had the best? Obviously, there's an auction still left, but which team had the best retention and the worst?
Best, I would say RCB.
Yeah,
Because again they got their trophy, they got their players, everything is still with them. Personally, I'm a very big fan of the Salt and Kohli opening pair.
yeah,
Last mega auction, I was looking for MI to get Salt. I knew that they will definitely get in Rickelton because no one's going to bid for Rickelton. They will get him on the base price, and exactly that same thing happened.
yeah.
And it felt that Salt will not be there for sure. And yeah, just like that, he went to RCB. And Salt and Kohli, both of them are just a delight to watch, I would say, because when Salt came for DC as well, I was shocked that they
Yeah,
let him go so easily. Then even KKR had to let him go due to mega auctions, or else KKR would have kept him for sure. So definitely a big fan of that opening pair, and I think that overall batting as well, I'm a big fan of them. So really happy
even
with that
even
auction
Tim
pair.
David, I think when he got to RCB, him and Salt. I remember when I heard that Salt is going to RCB at a good price as well, 11 crores. I think he was going to be one of the key players for RCB, because he is a perfect complement, to Virat Kohli, and Tim David as well. Played some real good knocks last season, and after that as well, he's been in real good form. Has got a century recently in T20 cricket as well. So they might just have another good season. We hope they do have, and it could be exciting. But the team that they had the worst retention. Obviously, that team can still rectify going into the auction, but the retention thing.
Worst, I don't think any team has done something bad, but there are
Yeah,
surprises, no doubt. But almost every team has, been doing that few releases. I mean, we had teams like Punjab Kings and Delhi Capitals, who, you have seen them release so much of those names, but now even they have improved. They have been releasing less players and trying to trust their players more than ever. So I really don't think anyone had the worst retentions. But I feel RR again, as I said before, that they got in Jadeja, they got in Karan, but does that really benefit them? Because Karan's form is one concern and Jadeja's age is another concern, and you let go of someone who was your future. So
yeah,
really surprised with that thing.
yeah,
And their side was anyways not looking balanced to me. So now that they have let go those existing players as well, like they have let go Hasranga, they have let go Tikshana, they have let go Faruqi. So after that, I feel that if you are not able to replace them again, then what's the point of letting them go? You could have kept at least one of them, I feel. So talking about RR, I'm a little concerned.
yeah. I think they do have the option to get more people into the team and rectify all of the things that you just pointed out. But yeah, I think a pretty good, interesting last couple of weeks as well. There was a lot of talk about the trade. I think this season has been the most that the players are traded. There were trades happening in the earlier, seasons as well, but not at this level. I think there have been five, six, trades that have happened this year, and we could see this being the future as well. It's a norm now that we can see big players also being traded to other teams, just as we saw this year with the Samson and the Jadeja trade. So a pretty good retention uh, period, and I think it just sets up for the next month's auction, which is in December 16. So yeah, pretty excited about that as well, and we will try to get back and do a similar thing where we talk about the teams in the auction, and do we would like you guys to talk about your favorite teams or teams in general of the IPL on their retention and the potential buys and the team that they could look out for. It was a really good talking to you, Akshat, and yeah, we will be back with another episode or something like this with another topic. Until then, we'll be back with the next video. Cheers.